Please adhere to YouTube's selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviors shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Please do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during the video. All actions are performed by professionals.
Alright, so today I'm going to be eating a late lunch at a Riverside park in Tokyo, which as a whole I am looking forward to doing much more so than not because I'm hungry right now. I want to eat some food, and the good news is I have some food on me. I have 3 onigiri in my backpack plus a Dr. Pepper. I'm all set, ready to eat a late lunch. All I need to do is find a spot to sit down and eat my late lunch, I will acknowledge. I came to this Riverside Park, specifically to this riverbank right here, with the idea that I would sit right on the riverbank to eat my late lunch. However, it did not end up really working out, I will acknowledge, because the tide is currently coming in, and about 3 to 4 minutes ago, a boat did come by, and the waves were pretty high up, I will acknowledge. I don't know exactly how high up they were, but what I do know is that if the tide goes up anymore and another boat goes by, the water's gonna be all over me if I'm sitting right here. So I'm gonna walk a little bit further away from the river, even though it is gorgeous, and I'm gonna find a spot slightly more inland, just so I don't have to worry about getting questionable river water all over me, I will acknowledge. We can see that there's just a bunch of fields and stuff like that. Looks like there's some people playing soccer down there and whatnot. Don't think I want to disturb them. So I think instead I might walk, there's some benches over here. I'm not really big on sitting in the sun, I will acknowledge. However, it's pretty windy right here, so honestly, it's really not so bad, like temperature-wise. That combined with the fact that it's currently 4:33 in the afternoon and the sun is just going down a little bit, it's just not as hot as it was, even though it was a high of like 95 today. I would not mind finding a spot that is maybe a little bit wind resistant, frankly put, but just looking in front of me, I don't really think there's many options, in all honesty. So I see a tree up there. I could theoretically sit under that tree, but I am not sure. Oh, we can see the Tokyo Sky Tree right there. No complaints on my behalf. I could just sit at one of these benches. What am I thinking? Do I want to sit at one of these benches and just eat my lunch right here, eat my late lunch right here? I think I might just do that, in all honesty. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? Is this like terribly warm? Actually, it's really not. It's metal. I was thinking it was gonna be like really hot, but it's not, even though it's been sitting in the sun. Can't complain. Wait a minute, the sun's right there. So, in all honesty, I should really be putting my camera like that, because now the lighting is like coming this way, and so it's really good lighting. So actually, we're gonna go with that, especially since the end of the bench is right here, so I can just sit like this really easily. Big bet, big ball of moves. This is actually a better spot than I initially thought. I know y'all's ears might not be so happy right now because of the wind noise, but trust me, it's worth it, because without this wind, it would be sweltering out here right now. The wind actually feels quite nice, and it's actually quite cool. I figure due to the fact that it's wind right off of the river. So honestly, I really can't complain. Well, without further ado though, I do suppose I should probably go ahead and get to eating my late lunch now, shouldn't I? So let's go ahead, get my backpack all opened up, and let's grab my empty Picari sweat bottle out. I have been walking around a little bit today, you know, gotta stay hydrated. And let's go ahead and now grab my phone holder for a big tripod out. And let's go and grab now my late lunch and Dr. Pepper out of my bag, and I'm gonna put everything else back in because I wanna make sure I'm not littering or anything like that. Of course, this this Riverside Park doesn't really have any trash cans, so gotta make sure I'm careful to not litter. I'm gonna go ahead and get my Dr. Pepper out, which thankfully is a little bit cold, even though I bought it about an hour ago. I've got 3 of the exact same onigiri. In specific, it's some 7-Eleven red salmon and salt onigiri, which is actually my favorite onigiri I've tried from a convenience store in Japan so far, I will acknowledge. Do I want to grab a thumbnail for this video before I go ahead and get to eating? I probably should, shouldn't I? So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Slightly crushed onigiri or slightly crushed onigiri? I'll choose the second one. Let's see, how can I grab a screenshot? Let's see if I can do this. But I do suppose, without further ado, before I go ahead and get to eating, I should probably get some hydration going. So let's go and get my Dr. Pepper all opened up, and let's take a sip or two. Ooh, that is still nice and cold, even though it's been about an hour since I bought it. Man, no complaints on my behalf, let me tell y'all what. That is nice, that is nice. Let's go and crack open the first red salmon and salt onigiri I've got with me today. Well, got it out. Let's get to eating. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying? This one's a little bit warm, I'll acknowledge, and I figured the other two are probably going to be just a little bit warm. It's been probably about an hour and a half since I bought them, but still delicious. The rice is moist. Contrasts very well with the dryness of the seaweed. The seaweed is not too dry by any means. And the salmon has a nice salty flavor to it, along with the seaweed having a little bit of a salty flavor as well. Man, oh man. Solid stuff. Overall, I gotta admit, that first onigiri, pretty solid, pretty solid. I got no complaints on my behalf, and I definitely feel a little bit better now. I was needing some food, and I'm feeling a little bit better since I have had some food now. So certainly no complaints on my behalf. I just need a little bit of water, a little bit of Dr. Pepper to wash the rest of it down, though, I'm not gonna lie. Cracking open the second one. That first one did not fill me up. I'm like, I feel better now. I just didn't get filled up. But I think I'm gonna have all three today, I will acknowledge. Especially since I'm gonna be doing some walking after this. I'm gonna be walking to Kita-Senju station, and I'm gonna be going over there to use the smoking area. I'm gonna be going over there to Uniqlo to find me a pair of shorts. I want to see if they have any jorts. I'm also thinking if I can find a nice non-stick pan that doesn't cost an exorbitant amount of money, I'm gonna buy that as well, because the Airbnb I'm staying at for the next almost a month, the pan, it's got like non-stick on it, but I don't know how old the pan is because that non-stick no longer works at all in any way, shape, or form. I made eggs this morning, just like scrambled eggs, and they all stuck to the pan, even though I used oil and spread the oil around. I was like, nah, bruh, this is not it. So I'm gonna have to go see if I can get me a nice non-stick pan. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I got a burp though. Thing is though, I don't know how much like decent non-stick pans are here. Like, I don't even want a big one. I just want one that can fit like 4 eggs. Just find like just a little one, like probably like that big kind of thing. That's what I'm looking for. Like, I'm willing to spend like 3,500 yen on a pan to be able to use it for like the next month, just to not have to deal with the hassle of using a horrible pan for a month. Good non-stick, or at least just a pan where like stuff doesn't stick to, is like genuinely so goated. I grew up using pans that had like no non-stick. They were just metal, and I don't know how I survived, frankly put, because that's like the worst. Once I used a non-stick pan, I was like, what do you mean it doesn't stick to it? And I've been spoiled ever since. I can't go back to no non-stick. People be talking about microplastics. What about macroplastics from the non-stick? Helicopter flying over. Hell yeah, brother. Dang. Ooh, that hit a little bit hard. But no complaints on my behalf. I'm gonna go and get my last onigiri all opened up. I am still hungry. That Dr. P though, pretty solid, no complaints on my behalf, and overall, my late lunch though was very solid. I really enjoyed my late lunch. I feel so much better than I did. I am still needing like a little bit more like hydration, and the good news is that I have some water in the side of my backpack, so I'm gonna have some of that now. Much better. Just needed a little bit more. That Dr. Pepper definitely made me feel a lot better. Got some caffeine, got some sugar in my system, but I still needed a little bit more hydration. So glad I got the water as well, I will acknowledge. I feel like I got a burp. Excuse me. Man, that was a good, satisfying burp. No complaints on my behalf, I will acknowledge. I'm gonna go ahead and get moving though. Did I eat a late lunch at a Riverside park in Tokyo? I'd have to say I did. We could see the bridges all the way over there, and looks like there's a little bit of traffic going on. It is currently 4:56. It's almost 5 o'clock, so yep, just about rush hour. No surprise there's a little bit of traffic going on, I'll acknowledge, but overall, very nice Riverside Park in my personal opinion. Let's go up these stairs over here, and let's go up there, get a view of the sky tree, and end the video, I do think. Man, there's the sky tree over there in the distance though. Let's go and zoom in on that just a little bit, if I can. There it is. There's the sky tree right over there, y'all. And I think that's the video right there as well. I enjoyed looking at the view, eating my late lunch, and drinking my Dr. Pepper. Certainly no complaints on my behalf, and hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you guys did, like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, stay safe and peace, and have a great one. Yes sir, you know what I'm saying?